Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to analysis for this morning. Our guest on the show this morning is Wale Oloko, and he is a policy analyst. It's great to have you on the show today.
Good morning, Annabel. You're looking good.
You're welcome. What's up? I'm beefing you. You didn't say it all this while. You just said it now. So
no, he just wanted to have the option to say it on air, right? Off air, so I believe so. Right, Mr. Wale.
Yes, our phone lines are open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Now, because we were talking about the cash crunch and then all the ripple effect, and before you came on, I was actually reporting to Olamide what I went through in the markets this last weekend, where you can't buy anything. You can't buy pepper, you can't buy egusi because they'll tell you that they cannot collect transfer, and it keeps biting harder every day. Now, Nigerian Pilot says cash scarcity, NLC threatens strike, and the writer to that story says issues 7 days nationwide strike notice over cash and fuel scarcity, threatens mass action if problems are not addressed after 7 days, warns federal government, CBN, others to ensure issues raised were addressed within the notice period. Now, workers have been frustrated to a level that they can no longer keep quiet. Really, so after over 1 month, we've been going through this this tragedy. Is it that the NLC just woke up to the fact that workers are getting frustrated, or at this point that workers are now at the edge where they can no longer receive any push?
Well, I think I will just agree with you with the last part of your comment. Well, I think it's just the last one. But don't forget again, let us just put it this way. It is better late than never. I think that's just it. I mean, there's nothing we can say now that will address what people are going through. It's terrible, no doubt about that. We have all agreed that perhaps the policy could be a very good one, but the implementation terribly managed. And to that extent, is going to have some serious issues for us to be able to connect. But at the end of the day, let us just hope that people are not in the mood to really do anything like NSAS and all that, because they are all giving hope that 2 months at most, or at worst, we'll have a new face in the villa, and that will give hope. And
so you say that people might not decide not to respond to this.
I have every feeling that the threat will not materialize. By the time you have governors in those places, they'll be jubilating, they will want to ignore all those because the people will now come out to appeal to them. Just give us time, we'll handle it. Just give us time, we'll handle it. Don't forget, Annabel, that even before now,
yes,
a governor in another part of the country, we don't need to hide it, it's in the public domain. Governor El-Rufai assured the people, even before the election, that
sure,
go ahead, collect the money. By the time we win this election, because they are targeting us, by the time we win this election, we are going to refund your money, we are going to give you money. So that is why there was no uprising, no destruction of banks and so on and so forth in another part of the country.
Sure.
So don't forget that we are in election season and we are likely to have this kind of issues. Let us commend NLC, at least for coming out, that, okay, we have this kind of feeling. People are suffering, no doubt about that. But I think why they are tolerating it, because sometimes you ask yourself, this kind of extent, you have your money in the bank, you have no access to it, and somebody is telling you have to take a minimum of 20,000. But this kind of draconian measures that you can only hear in the imperial days, people are just tolerating it because they know a new regime is coming. And don't forget, the motto of the new regime is renewed hope. Apparently, I think that's what people are just looking at. Let us just allow this man to go. Let us allow this administration to end.
But it's still the same political party.
Sorry?
It's still the same political party.
Yes, but don't forget that the personality matters. Within the same political party, they're saying that so-called redesign of currency and cashless policy was targeted at a particular individual. It's in the public domain. Have you forgotten?
Yes.
Now the person you are saying you want to, it's like somebody trying to use a catapult to hit somebody, and the catapult missed. So to say, the person still won, or is being declared the president-elect. So what is the whole essence?
That statement of targeted at one person. I think I saw a headline yesterday about Emefiele trying to sabotage the president-elect and all of that. But that
was in on Nation's newspaper.
Yes, even though he debunked it today. But that aside, there's a statement that is on the Punch newspaper. It says, Emefiele bows to pressure, says old Naira notes legal tender. And now the interesting part of the rider says, AGF, CBN governor don't need Buhari's directive to obey Supreme Court, says presidency. And I also saw an headline that is also saying that the president said he did not give them directives not to obey the Supreme Court's order. Where do we stand?
Olamide, I think this still boils down to the same issue. Let us not flog a dead horse. As far as I'm concerned, there is a dead horse. I think the man is just looking for an excuse. Let me say it on air today. There is consequence for what Emefiele is doing. And I want to wait till May 29th to see that consequence. There's consequence. Because don't forget, the press release from the presidency yesterday was around 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
The decision by Bankers Committee and CBN took place on Sunday. Don't forget that governor of Annabel State mentioned something earlier yesterday.
Yes.
Because he spoke with the man.
Even the governor of Lagos State
Spoke with the man. And then they realized that he's on his own. I think that's the bottom line. Emefiele is on his own. This idea of saying that we are waiting for a presidency, or I mean, don't forget, I'm even surprised that he didn't even travel to Daura to go and meet the president again, to go and say, okay, should you allow us to defy or to abide by Supreme Court decision? I mean, this thing happened since when? Last week. And you are now coming us to say that you released the press release yesterday.
In fact, you got Nigerians confused.
No, that is really confusion. Because what happened to the so-called rule of law? The Supreme Court has declared, and you never asked that AGF should advise you in the first instance. Now you are going back to say that we are waiting, and until the president returned to Abuja yesterday, that's when you realize that, okay, this is the time to do it. You cannot continue this way. And it's a reflection, it's a bad reflection on the administration of the president. And that's the bottom line. And that's why I said there is a consequence for any action.
But do you think the president, sorry to cut you, do you think the president would also be in the position to also be a consequence? Because right now he's trying to exonerate himself that he is not a part of the of flouting Supreme Court's order.
In any executive presidency, in any executive regime, you need to have somebody you can throw under the bus. Somebody has to be thrown under the bus. And somebody has to be held the consequence.
And that person right there.
Somebody has to be thrown under the bus, and somebody has to take responsibility. And that's just the bottom line. Because if whatever you have the guts to tell us, okay, this is what you want, and this is what we're trying to do. But the president has told you what, and he never asked that they should not release the memos. Whereas the president himself, before he traveled to Addis last month, addressed the nation and said, I will only give approval for the issuance, for the use of the old 200 naira notes until April 10th, 2023. Now, the press release is different. It's at variance. So you can see who is going to be thrown under the bus. And that's what I'm saying. There's consequence for any action. And it's not possible that we continue this way. And people have just been patient. Otherwise, in any normal society, this is not what you are getting. Confusion for 2 months. You have your money, you can't use it. And you have not seen anything yet. I'm sure by the time the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, they come out with their figures the next quarter, you see what will happen to our economy.
Are you expecting the right figures coming from the NBS this time?
They have been so reliable so far. Let us face it. No, there are institutions in this country. That's what we're saying, that what Emefiele is doing as an agency of government is rather ridiculous. You've seen, I'm sure you've seen a lot of these WhatsApp videos going about where you find plantains and banana rotting all over the place because there's no cash to buy.
Not to buy.
And you went to the market, you said.
In fact, I saw them in the market myself.
So you
not
can see
just...
that kind of thing. Okay, you are saying, okay, cashless policy, good, and so on and so forth. But for now, the literacy level in Nigeria is embarrassingly low. To the extent that you don't expect them to start having accounts.
That's exactly what the market women, the pepper sellers, will say. I don't have account.
They don't have. And the charges for every move, you say 50 naira. There's somebody that on every item, the profit is about 20 naira.
True.
And you're not asking that the person should now do transfer, and the person will now pay 50 naira to the bank and the communication company.
And at the end of the month, they will still pay for each SMS receipt, for every debit credit, whichever.
And then to maintain your account, you pay money. So these are some of the conditions that you don't just force on people.
Exactly.
Gradually, people will get used to it.
All right.
And it can start from Lagos, Rivers, and Kano.
Sure.
And then to around the country.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Akin, your regular caller from Lagos State.
I came from Lagos State. How is Lagos today?
Lagos is fine.
Awesome. All right. You have the floor. Go ahead.
So, just based on that the monetary policy or whatever we're talking about this morning, what I just see in it is that the truth of the matter is that no matter how we want to say it, president is number one citizen of this country. So, president in no way he can exonerate himself from this issue as it is. That thing aside. At the same time, the CBN governor himself, where the issue started is for him to have involved himself in politics, because I've never had it. Since, I don't know, maybe I'm not good at history in Nigeria, but I've never seen any CBN governor who is present or active CBN governor that tries to partake in politics. So the moment he tries to involve himself in politics, that is where he got it all wrong. And whatever accusation that he's getting, he has to just take it.
All right.
At the time, the so-called policy, it was implemented at the wrong time. Because you don't bring that kind of policy at the time when there was election. Everybody knew that policy was in short money. And besides, even he said he wants to kind of spend the money or whatever, it's not just like.
All right. Thank you so much.
Taking our money. You understand? Because if you want to definitely spend the money, if I give you 20,000, you give me 20,000 back. But the reverse is the key. We deposit our money, we never receive anything. So I don't want to understand. I don't know if the president is having the. If for now president cannot be charged. Sorry, I cannot get that word. If the president cannot be questioned at the moment because of the immunity that is having now, I believe the government, the senior governor, could be fixed, because definitely has offended Nigeria. He is supposed to be in jail right now. That's
all right. Thank you so much, Ake from Lagos. Thank you so much for your contribution. Very well taken. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you. Kindly turn down the volume of your TV set.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Okay, I think I have to let you go. You need to turn down the volume of your TV set first before, so we can hear you. Okay, please do.
Actually, I think Akeem he has his own point, and then we should just allow the president to take his leave at the end of his tenure on May 29th, and then he has done his best.
All right.
As far as is concerned. I think, like we said, somebody must pay the price, and that's just it. That is just the bottom line.
Okay.
For all actions taken while in office, I think the president has immunity, and then we have not gone to that stage where we bring back our former presidents to come and account for their activities in office. I don't think we have done that. So it's going to be unprecedented, and don't forget again, it's the same party.
Yes.
That has taken over. So let us just allow that to go. But bottom line is that people are suffering. We acknowledge that, and then let us just give them. I think what they're saying is that okay, to keep the money away from politics, the last election will take place this weekend. Maybe after that, they will now have enough money. Again, we are not sure of how much, because they are just.
But we actually hope for after the presidential election that the money will start flowing.
But of course, no. If we are talking about money and politics, they have to wait until the election.
After the government,
and then you're not sure again how much was printed. Just speculation. Although Governor Rufai said 300 billion, whereas 3 trillion to be taken out of circulation. So I think it's just the imbalance, and that's why people are worried. And there's no how they can print enough until maybe December. And that is why perhaps the judgment
was shifted to December.
To about December. Maybe hoping that by then we'll have enough currency in circulation, and people maybe perhaps will get used to this cashless policy thing. But the bottom line is that people are suffering, and NIC will likely follow up with their threat. But will they be able to carry people along? People will be interested because they have seen enough. So honestly, I don't think they will be able to do anything.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, this is John calling you from Kano.
All right, John from Kano, go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, I'm a kind of program. Just like the last caller said now. The CBN governor was appointed by President. He's doing the visit of President.
Okay.
He cannot do anything without President. So that is why just the last caller said that the President cannot tell himself for what is happening. What is does it mean that those who are the President cannot see the suffering in Iran?
All right.
They don't see this. This is for example, that maybe it's a way. Those who are is close people that are taxing that because you being a president of this country is to help.
All right.
And to make sure the government to make sure that your citizens are living in hand.
All right. Thank you so much.
Those who are doing that you are suffering.
Thank you so much. Your point has been taken. So sorry I had to let you go. Thank you so much. 1 minute to every caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is calling from Google.
All right, go ahead.
welcome.
Let's get your thoughts in 60 seconds.
Okay, what I'm trying to say about this policy is that we have a government that doesn't obey the rules of law. Because they don't obey the rule of law, and that is the problem we are having in Nigeria. The problem we are having in Nigeria is this, that when law is being given, it's only for the masses and not for the schools. It's very, very bad. That is why the purpose of the policy of this particular money cashless has been defeated.
All
It
right.
has been defeated. So there's money, this money, people are dying. People are dying. People are going home like this.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much. Your point is well taken. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Are you there?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm there.
All right. Turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you properly. Okay. So now let's.
All right. Sorry, apologies. Because of the statement the other caller made, the last caller that went through, it's just like what I asked Annabel this morning when we started the show. I said, with this reversal, then what's the essence of this cashless policy? It looks like the purpose was not even achieved.
Well, if you ask Emefiele, will tell you that at least it's been achieved. That, the real money was used in buying votes.
Buy votes.
I mean, that could be reason, and that could be what that's what the people. I mean, this is not for me or for you people.
Of course.
It's from Governor Rufai too. That the policy was aimed at somebody. That much as you can celebrate or applaud the policy, why now? And then I said targeted at somebody, and the person still won the election.
It's just so unfortunate because of one person.
And that is why we are saying that
Nigerians into-
exactly. We are saying the same thing, and that is why I agree with Olamide that okay, if you set out to achieve ABC, and the catapult missed, you must pay a price because we are paying. I mean, money has been spent on this so-called redesign and everything, and yet you still miss the target. Then you have to pay the price. If the president is not going to pay the price, then the CBN governor must pay the price, and that is what the callers are saying. If you allow the president to go because of immunity and because of the noise and so on and so forth, then Emefiele should not be, not just escape like that.
But
He will not pay the price.
isn't it so sad? I hate to use the word sinner climbs, where you see this kind of things happen and then you have those people that are at the helm of affair, they just walk away and tell you that I have failed in what I was asked to do or what the oath that I swore to do. So I just walk away from the office. Why don't you have things like that happening, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa?
Yes, because it's Africa now. Because it's not in our DNA. We are not getting into that yet. Maybe even because we have not developed up to that level.
Maybe we
And
don't
because
have that
we don't have the
democratic
culture. It's not part of us.
mentality.
Yes. And then that is what we are saying. Until you have consequence, then somebody else who is going to take over will not repeat it. But if you allow Emefiele to escape this kind of issues we are talking about, then another governor will come, or central bank will come, and you also want to participate in the election. You go and brand vehicles. You claim that somebody bought 100 million naira nomination form for him. I mean, the man has really done enough to the psyche of Nigerians.
Would there really be consequence?
Well, let's wait and see.
It's really sad where you have people that will tell you that I mistakenly sent an official email to my personal email, so I walk away. But Nigeria, you never see things like that. Really sad. Let's take other stories. And this one on the Vanguard newspaper says, 10th National Assembly, no preferred candidate, says Tinubu. And yesterday we saw all of the headlines was flooded with Tinubu is going to definitely bring up national unity, bring especially in the 10th Assembly, you have the Igbos, you have mixed tribe. And I recall having a conversation with the president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, that's the Abuja chapter, a few days ago, and he said that during the 2015 elections that the Igbos went all out for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and they are still paying the price up till tomorrow in terms of appointments. So that's, according to him, he says that's the reason for the nepotism and favoritism that you find in public offices. So according to him now, he's saying that that might be what will happen again, because everybody decided to go, most Igbos decided to go the LP way. So they might have to face that consequence. You see that happening with the president-elect?
I mean, the gentleman is entitled to his own opinion.
Absolutely.
And whether you like it or not, in some areas of appointments, it's likely to skew to one side. Perhaps they will tell you that is a reflection of what the president will want to achieve. We're talking about merit and so on and so forth. But there's merit all over the country, and that's what you should understand. And then whether the president-elect or the president likes it or not, some appointments, there's no how you can deny some states, like ministerial appointments that will require zoning or nomination into the boards of INEC, police service commissions, and all those constitutional bodies. You can't deny anybody. But in the areas of maybe appointments of service chiefs and all that, the president has the liberty to do whatever he wants to do. But I think coming from what we have now, you have the president from the southwest, and then the president-elect, southwest, and the vice president-elect from northeast. You are not likely to have the senate president from southwest. It's very going to be impossible. And you're not going to have senate president from northeast. It's going to be impossible. So what you are likely to get is somebody from the south and somebody from the north as the senate president and the speaker of the House of Representatives. But that is not enough. Let me tell you this. Because even if you have the president who is not responsive to the yearnings of the people, even to his own constituency, they will still complain of marginalization. I'm not sure if you know Lagos very well. Lagos to Otta is less than 64 kilometers. It's been that bad. It's been that bad. That's number one. Number two, from Ijigbo to the airport, Ikeja Airport, it's less than 2 kilometers. The so-called pipeline has been broken for years. It's not been fixed. So you have a lot of issues. And don't forget that one of the so-called signature infrastructural listing of the president is Second Niger Bridge. And this is somebody who is not from Second Niger Bridge. And even in his first outing at the Institute of Peace, United States Institute of Peace in Washington, D.C., he said, perhaps maybe it was just unconscious when he said that you don't expect me to give attention to the president that gave me 5%. But in this case, don't forget that.
I recall that gentleman said that during the interview.
Sorry? Which one?
The man I talked to.
Okay. No, actually he said it because it's in YouTube and everywhere. But see what he has done, Second Niger Bridge. So you can see that Annabel State and Delta, you can see the link now. And this is somebody who is not from that state, and he has given Second Niger Bridge, which people have been publishing all these years. So that's what I'm saying. The next thing is that this current president-elect got less than, not even up to 1%. Is it up to 5% in Anambra State?
No, it's not.
So these are some of the issues.
You actually see him say that you didn't give me the support, or do you expect me to leave those that supported me and then come to start voting out for you?
No, that's what I'm saying. That in this case, the president has even done more than where Ebele Jonathan got more votes. Because the Second Niger Bridge has been on the drawing board for years, and this is the president who got less than 5% in that area, and he has delivered. And this is his signature infrastructure.
But do you think that this current president-elect, probably when he resumes his administration, would probably want to be nepotistic about some things? Because he's already extending olive branches to probably some of the political parties, and obviously he may want to continue. Yes, he may want to continue when his administration begins. He may want to extend the same olive branch to other, climes and say, come and join my administration, let's work together. But do you see a situation where he will probably want to assign some other important offices to a specific region that has given him as much vote as he has gotten?
No, don't forget that the president is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is the Minister of Finance, is the Minister of Petroleum Resources, is the Minister of everything. So if the man decides to say, okay, let me give the so-called, which I don't think is that important, the so-called offices, big offices, to other places that actually didn't vote for him, it doesn't really matter. There's no action you can take without the authority of the president. So all these I don't really consider it as something important that, okay, give on. But the so-called important positions that will not give out are there. People don't talk about it. But it's just that the current administration has so exposed those appointments that people now are conscious of it, that, oh, these are areas. If you give somebody Minister of Sports, Minister of Finance, Minister of Foreign Affairs, of what effect is that one compared to the Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority?
True.
Or Chairman of INEC? These are some statutory responsibilities that you give to people that you will not see as but these are key in what you are trying to do. Because the business of Nigeria today relies on most things from importation. And importation is from where? From the ports. Both so-called offshore and onshore resources.
And because you talked about the ports, we have heard some arguments saying that probably the president-elect might decide to, some of these ministries that were moved away from Lagos and brought down to Abuja, that he might decide to take it back to Lagos, and he might even have the FCT return back to Lagos. Do you agree?
I know. No, simple no. Very simple no.
Very, very funny. Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. How was your night?
Fine, thank you, sir. Go ahead, we can hear you.
Yeah, my regards to all of you over there.
Good morning, sir.
Chief Aaron, go ahead.
You see, I have been following your discussion very well. Let me start from the latest one. You see, Tinubu won with a very, very small percentage. That is 38%. So if he really wants to rule this country, there should be a national government. I'm telling you that from what happened during the election, a lot of people are not happy because INEC actually defeat Nigerians by that their transmission of whatever it is. I personally went to their portal. There was nothing in their portal. So people are really aggrieved. So if he really wants to perform very well, he should make a national government for inclusive. He had only 38%. By the time you look at the percentage which brought Tinubu to power, it was only 38%. So it's one of the lowest we have ever had in this country. That is one. That's why we are talking about the currency. You see, it is very funny that people are accusing Emefiele. Look, Emefiele has no consequence. I listened to your analyst. He has no consequence. The both stopped on the table of the president. Although you may say that it's a monetary policy, but if you look at it, the president came and broadcast to the nation and told us about this. And at the end of the day, he kept quiet. He has nothing with Emefiele. So in my own view, there's nothing like saying Emefiele has consequence. And you'll be shocked that in the same government as APC, there is no synergy between them. And your guest was saying that perhaps if Tinubu come back and one of you were asking a question that is it not the same government? This is a government that have said that there is no synergy between them. You see that one agency going against the other agency. Since the time they came on board. And I should think the president should remove his big boots from our necks so that we can have some bread.
All right. Thank you so much.
Public opinion at all. And that is what is taking. That is why.
Thank you so much, Chief Aro.
Thank you so much.
He has decided to punish the same Nigerians who brought him to power.
God bless you too, Chief Aro from Kaduna. Hello, good morning.
No.
Good morning. Could you kindly speak up and then turn down the volume of your TV set?
Okay, my name is I'm calling from Jamaica.
All right, let's hear you.
Okay, I want to say that we have to be very, very careful, especially the way and manner things we support at a particular time. This is not the first court order that the court is giving. We saw that some time back, the court gave an order, and even the president obeyed that court order. People were justifying it. Now it has happened that it's affecting everybody because of this cash crunch. Now people are now saying there's a court order the president has. But the same people who were justifying why the president did not obey the previous court order are the same people now asking the president to obey the court order. You see that the evil on ground is enough to go around.
All right.
So we should just stand and speak the truth at all times, so that it is not only when it favors us that we begin to say, yes, this court order must be obeyed, and the Supreme Court has spoken.
Right.
In one break, the same person saying we should obey the Supreme Court order. Now the INEC has refused to allow LP to even inspect material, despite a court order that was obtained since on the 3rd of this month. And we also begin to stand on INEC that you must also obey the court order.
All right, thank you so much.
All court orders be obeyed.
Thank you so much. Your point is
Thank
well
you very
taken.
much.
Thank you so much
for your
calling.
contribution.
All right.
I think let him just know. I think the LP
Yes.
was at INEC headquarters yesterday.
Yesterday.
So let us correct that impression. And for Chief Ariel, what we are saying is this: consequence for Emefiele. What we are saying that somebody will have to be thrown under the bus.
Absolutely.
So that's what we are saying. We are not saying that Emefiele should be crucified or anything like that. But in this kind of situation, it's very easy to say, well, I didn't allow. I didn't ask you. You have to take responsibility for your action. I think that's just it.
All right, there's this headline I'm seeing on the Nation's newspaper that says El-Rufai threatens to expose corrupt predecessors.
Like you knew what was in my mind. And
I
that's how I was going to ask
when I
that
saw
too.
it, I was wondering, why now? And what is there to expose? I feel like I don't expect headlines to just be, I'm going to expose them. I expected the exposure immediately. What's your take?
You said El-Rufai threatens to expose predecessors.
Corrupt predecessors.
Okay, good. You mean in Kaduna State or in Nigeria? Which one?
I think other headlines have.
Yes, Vanguard says,
too.
I'll expose former governors who looted Kaduna resources coming from El-Rufai.
I think Olamide, you have answered the question. So you have the yam, you have the knife, do whatever you want to do with it. That's simple. We have heard all these stories.
400 prosecute
terrorism financing. Don't forget that we were together on this show one time that Chief Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, threatened that they were going to release the names of those source warning and all that. Up to today, we
just keep hearing we are going to, but it never gets to happen.
Until it happens, let us just see it as one of those things that we want to make us happy, feel good situation.
So you're not hopeful that it's going to happen?
No, at all.
So what if it actually does?
Then somebody will come again and tell that I will look for, is it getting the plot of land through different means of the legal means can also be regarded as such. Don't forget that a lot of people are still asking, questioning his own tenure in FCT, giving lands to children and names of wives and then other people like that. So, I mean, let us just leave that aside and say, let him take action, let him demonstrate it, let him walk the talk. That's what they say. Until then, we still see it as a feel-good factor.
I can't agree more.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah. I'm Annabel speaking from Aba.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. In the space of this election of 2023, 25 February, my thinking is that you people are the aim of the affair, which is the INEC. They don't think negative and positive. If they have that motive of negative and positive, what they would have done, they know actually that Nigerians want to change. They wouldn't have tampered with the BIFA. They wouldn't have done anything that would truncate the election. As it is now, I'm speaking, the election has been truncated. Why? People went to court. Is it what people are expecting? On the Naira issue, people were blaming this man, Emefiele. Actually, in every country of the world, the currency relies on the president and the governor of the central bank. So without the directive from the central bank, from the president, the governor of the central bank cannot act.
All right.
He acts on the instruction from the central bank. So let them put things right.
All right. Thank you so much.
People.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Let's take that last call before we end. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Sounds like the previous caller.
I'm calling from Abuja.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. I wish the president, because I wish him all the best going through this adventure, because I know that there are a lot of work, before him. He himself knows the kind of, kappa that are holding the country to ransom at the moment, and I think he has a lot of work to do, including proving most of the, current members of this administration. Because that is where it starts, and that is the only thing that will work on.
All right.
One that come from Kaduna said he did not get a lot of votes. Look at the margin, the difference. So it will show him that many Nigerians, he was not accepted generally as such. Even if you look at the FCT, which harbored many different kind of ethnic nationality, you understand that he couldn't meet up 25% of that. That should show him that people did not even want his government. But now that he has emerged, he should do all his best to pull people.
Thank you so much.
You understand? That is my advice for him.
All right, thank you so much.
Not for the part of his predecessor who said that some people can be ignored. There are 5% if there are 5% that otherwise.
Thank you so much. All right, sorry, that's good. Good morning.
Hello?
Please turn down the volume of your TV, sir. Okay, I think I should just leave it at
It's
that.
advisable that they also step away from the TV set.
I think the bottom line is this. I mean, don't forget. I mean, they have come again. INEC should live up to expectation. I think that's just the bottom line. I think they promised so much and delivered so little. They promised even before the election, since last year, they're going to do electronic transmission of results and so on and so forth. It failed. They talk about technical glitches, and that is a nebulous term. So they again promise that this weekend they're going to have electronic transmission. So let us just hope and believe that they're going to do the right thing. I mean, you mentioned something like that. Allow me to mention something like that yesterday about deficit in trust and so on and so forth.
Yes.
People no longer trust this particular INEC to deliver. I think they're just saying, okay, we want this government to just go, and that is why you can.
Do you see that affecting the gubernatorial and House of
Assembly?
Assembly?
They have promised again that they're going to deliver. So let us just hope, because we know they're on the national TV. We should give hope. We should let them believe that okay, the vote matter and so on and so forth.
Because you mentioned the gubernatorial election, there are some interesting, updates lately with most of the gubernatorial candidates.
No. Let's keep that for social media. But anyway, this segment is off. Thank you so much, Mr. Wale Oloko. It's been a wonderful time having this together. But we're going to do this social media segment.
We have to talk about it.
No, we have to talk about it, especially in Lagos. You have Desmond Elliott.
And you're already unveiling it.
No, it's already it's social media o'clock.
Oh, okay, great, beautiful.
So since we're doing social media now, sorry, we can't take your calls anymore. It's already social media o'clock. So now on social media, you have the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. He's been here, there, and everywhere. He's been a content creator. He's been an usher. He's been a mechanic, repairing phones, taking pictures. What exactly is going on?
I think in 2019 he was a stylist.
Yes, he was a stylist.
So it's not really new he's doing. And don't forget that you need that touch.
The touch doesn't come during the administration.
No, because perhaps because of the busy schedule.
No, really.
Now this is the time. Leave your office, go and seek the votes.
And
And then you also have Desmond Elliott coming to apologize for all the statement that he made with regards to how he called the protesters, the NSAS protesters, children, and now he came out to say that the hatred is too much, and then he also went to church and then started canvassing for votes. So is that like the new trend at the moment?
You asked the question and you have even answered it. Again, let me just add one more point, that this is election season. So we are going to see all aspects of human nature, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the one that will behave. Let me just try and win this election first. Whatever they want to do. You know, it's like stooping low to conquer. And let me just win this election, then we can now come back and behave. But it's really, the people should be able to now decide for themselves. Okay, we have listened to you.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever we really want to do. We'll do the right thing.
It's looking like, compared to other times...
Don't forget, Annabel, that we have seen presidential candidates too eating groundnut and
frying
akara. You can see that.
But it's looking like
trend.
this time around, everybody has to do and outdo themselves, because it looks like, because I used to make it used to be easy for me, it's not going to be easy anymore, so I have to go so extra mile.
So somebody actually said, maybe is it the fear of LUP?
No, it's a factor. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. No doubt. You can imagine somebody for the first time gathering almost 6 million votes, and then the president-elect 8 million votes. So it's not that easy.
Absolutely.
And then this is somebody who can steal. The only problem we have with people like Peter Obi and others is that after this election season, they will disappear. You will not see. But for everybody who wants to be seen and be relevant in this society, you must be able to put your money where your mouth is. You still have to be around. People still have to see you the next 1 year, so that when you come back, they will remember, not for you to disappear or go to Dubai and rest and then come back during election season, or you jump from one party. And that is what the other governor of Rivers State has been saying, that you can't be jumping from APC to PDP to APC, and this is, we have been here and we have been sustaining the party for this long. But I think there's a factor, like you mentioned. I think it's going to continue. I just hope that the trend will continue and then people will not be become despondent, that they will not give up that. Of course, we have tried, but it's as if nothing is going to change.
All right.
Because it's very easy for Nigerians to get disinterested in most of these
Absolutely.
things. Yeah.
All right, so we have to let you go. Thank you so much for your time with us. And then I also saw something on social media. So, and someone says the president-elect all of a sudden looks fresher, and he's no longer all those bala blues. You don't hear them anymore. Do you agree? Yes or no?
What we should say, Annabel, is that don't forget that success can throw away a lot of ailments and feel. Somebody was even telling me that the president, the current president, President Muhammad Buhari, was very sickly in 2015. And I see his gait now. It's fresher. It looks so good. I don't believe that.
Younger than his age.
Exactly.
All right, so thank you so much for your time with us. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for calling. We're sorry we can't take your calls anymore. We'll definitely take your calls tomorrow. From the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Annabel Orji. Good morning, Nigerians.
And I am Olamide Alhassan. See you tomorrow.